If you're a creator, you know this feeling. You've got this amazing idea, you shot hours of fantastic footage, but now you're staring at a mountain of just tedious work before you can even get to the good stuff. Well, that entire world of video creation is changing, like right now. We're leaving behind all those manual, repetitive tasks, and we're entering an era where AI isn't just some techie buzzword, it's your new creative co-pilot. It's ready to handle all the grunt work so you can finally focus on what really matters, your voice and your vision. So let's dive in and see how this new co-pilot is about to completely change your workflow.
This quote right here, man, it just gets right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It's a pain that anyone who's ever tried to edit a video feels on a deep, deep level. It's basically like having to chop vegetables for an entire day before you're allowed to start cooking. You've got all these camera angles that just won't line up, different audio tracks that are all over the place, and just awkward pauses everywhere. That's not being creative, that's just being a digital janitor. And it's that exact soul-crushing prep work that AI is getting ready to just wipe out forever.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the content treadmill, that constant pressure that created this mess in the first place. Then we'll give AI a brand new job description, figuring out exactly what it's taking off her plate. After that, we'll take a tour of the toolbox and compare some of the top AI co-pilots out there. Then we'll peek into the very near future with the rise of the AI agent. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the most important piece of the puzzle, the human in the machine.
So let's kick things off with the big why. Why is all of this happening right now? It's because of the insane, non-stop pressure to make more stuff. More podcasts, more daily videos, more content for every single platform all at the same time. The demand for video has just exploded, but the number of hours in a day, that hasn't changed. That's the content treadmill, and honestly, it's exhausting. It makes creators choose between doing something good and doing something fast, and it's just burning people out.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. It's the two worlds every creator lives in. Over on the left, you've got the old way, where all your time is eaten up by manual prep work. That's where you are when you're syncing audio, logging clips, trimming out dead air. It's a technical, repetitive slog. But on the right, that's where you want to be, the creative edit. That's where you're building the story, perfecting the rhythm, and dialing in the human emotion. The whole point of AI here is to build a bridge that lets you jump straight from your raw footage right into the creative part, skipping all that boring manual labor.
And we're not talking about a small improvement here. The numbers are just staggering. AI can save you 60 to 90% of your prep time. Let that sink in. If you normally spend a full 8-hour day just getting a podcast edit ready, you could be done in under an hour. That's not just saving time, that's saving your creative energy. It means you can start telling your story with a fresh mind, ready to go, instead of being totally drained from just getting things set up. This is a huge, huge shift.
So, if AI is going to be taking over 60 to 90% of that work, what exactly is on its new job description? Well, think of it less like a replacement for you and more like the best assistant you've ever had. Its job is to listen, to organize everything, and to hand you a clean, organized starting point. So your job can start with the fun part, the storytelling, not the cleanup.
First thing on its resume, multi-cam sync. For anyone shooting with more than one camera, like a podcast or an interview, this is an absolute game changer. The old way meant you had to do that loud clap at the start of every take, and then you'd be in your timeline, manually nudging clips frame by frame. It's a nightmare. Now, the AI just listens to all the audio. It knows who's talking and when, and it automatically cuts to the right camera at the right moment. That whole technical headache, poof, it's just gone.
Next up, getting rid of all those silences and filler words. You know how it is. Every recording is just full of dead air, awkward pauses, and a whole lot of ums and ahs. Cutting those out one by one takes forever. The AI assistant can do a first pass in just minutes, finding and cutting those moments based on settings that you control. It instantly makes your video feel tighter and more professional, and it gives you a much cleaner rough cut to start working with.
But honestly, this might be the biggest, most revolutionary change of all, script-based editing. The AI listens to your video and types out every single word. From that point on, you edit your video by editing the text. Think about that for a second. If you want to cut a sentence, you just highlight the words and hit delete, and the video is instantly cut to match. You can copy and paste whole paragraphs to completely rearrange your story. This makes video editing as easy as writing an email, and it puts the focus right back where it belongs, on the human voice and the story you're telling.
Okay, so we get these new AI superpowers, but let's take a look at the actual toolbox. Because it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Different AI co-pilots are built for different kinds of projects and different kinds of creators. Picking the right one really just depends on what job you need to get done.
This table gives us a pretty good lay of the land. You've got a tool like Selects, which is a total workhorse for big, complex projects. Think documentaries or podcasts with a bunch of guests. It does all the prep work before you even open up your main editing software. Then there's Descript, which is kind of perfect for the solo creator with one camera who just wants to live in that text-based editing world. And then there's something totally different like Pictory, which is great at taking something like a blog post and automatically turning it into a video. And finally, you have Autopod, which is just a simple little plugin for Adobe Premiere that does one thing really well: automatic camera switching. So the key takeaway here is you got to match the tool to your specific project.
So we've seen what AI can do right now. But where's this all going? Well, the next big jump is moving from these single-task tools to fully automated AI agents. And these aren't just assistants waiting for you to tell them what to do. Nope. These are autonomous collaborators that can manage an entire content pipeline, from the first idea all the way to publishing, and they can even learn from the results.
So this is what a fully automated YouTube Shorts pipeline, run by an AI agent, could actually look like. First, it's monitoring trends, seeing what's popular. Then, it uses that data to write a script. 3, it hands that script off to an AI video tool to create the visuals. Then it does a quality check, schedules the post, and tracks how well it's doing. Views, likes, watch time. But step 7, that's the real magic. Iterative improvement. It analyzes all that performance data to make the next video even better. This is an entire content creation engine basically running itself.
So for an AI to pull all that off, it needs to be able to see video, kind of like we do. And this diagram shows how it works. It's basically a two-part trick. First, it looks at a single, high-res photo from the video to understand all the little details, the what. Then it looks at a blurry, low-res sequence of frames, almost like a flipbook, to understand the motion and the action, the how. By combining those two things, the AI gets a really complete picture of what's in the clip and what's happening.
And this is that idea in action. This framework shows you how you can feed the system two simple things. On the left, a folder of raw video clips and some basic text about your product. The AI takes it all in, and what comes out on the right is kind of mind-blowing, a completely finished advertisement. The AI chose the best shots, put them in a logical order, and wrote a unique, persuasive script from scratch. This isn't just editing anymore, this is automated creative direction. It's turning a pile of raw assets into a compelling story.
Okay, and this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole conversation. With all this incredible automation, where does the human creator fit in? The answer is actually pretty simple. You are more important than you have ever been. These tools, they don't replace your voice or your vision. Their entire reason for existing is to get all the technical junk out of the way, so that your unique human perspective can shine through clearer and stronger than ever before.
Now, a huge worry for a lot of creators is YouTube going to penalize me for using AI? And the answer is a very clear no. As you can see here, YouTube's rules don't care about the tools you use. They care about the value of what you create. Are you bringing a new idea to the table? A unique point of view? Are you transforming something in a meaningful way? The real danger isn't using AI, it's getting lazy with AI. The risk is turning into a content factory instead of a storyteller.
So what do you need to avoid? Well, the platform has drawn some really clear red lines, and they all really come down to deception and causing harm. Impersonating real people, using deepfakes to spread misinformation, running scams, or just re-uploading someone else's book or article without adding any of your own commentary. The key is to use these powerful tools ethically. Use them to create and to inform, not to mislead or to manipulate. Your voice, your real human intent, has to be the one guiding the technology.
And so we end with this. This is the question that this entire revolution really leaves us with. For years, the biggest barriers to making amazing video were technical skills and just endless hours of boring work. Well, those barriers are crumbling. Your AI co-pilot is here. It can handle the syncing, the cuts, the cleanup. The grunt work is gone. So the only thing left for you to focus on is your story, your message, your unique human voice. The question isn't, can you make it anymore? It's, what will you make? What story, what idea, what passion will you finally have the time and the creative energy to share with the world?